Tonight on Joy News Prime, traders at Abosokai Spare Parts Hub demand enforcement of law restricting the involvement of foreigners in the retail trade.
Inform government to act within a matter of 2 weeks, or the Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association will take a destiny into our own hands to register our dispersal with the dormant approach taken by government toward this canker in our society.
It comes even as government tries to resolve the current stalemate between traders at Swami Magazine and their Nigerian counterparts.
Leadership of these groups continues to engage with government, and we make the point to them that within the framework of the laws and the protocols that we have signed up to, that which ought to be done is being done.
We will be in Kumasi for the latest. Meanwhile, the MP for the area, Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, wants ECOWAS to immediately resolve discrepancies between its protocols and Ghana's laws.
I believe this can occasion a meeting, an emergency meeting of the ECOWAS. Let's think through, where do we want to go, right?
Medina District Court finds landlady in whose house 2 women were found in a viral video disposing of refuse during a recent downpour. And police investigate the death of a 7-year-old boy whose body was retrieved from a drain at Katamanso, Promised Land in the Greater Accra region. And in business,
National Insurance Commission increases minimum capital requirements for the insurance sector and set 2021 as deadline for all players to meet the new levels.
New minimum capital requirement is now 50 million Ghana cedis. With respect to insurance, reinsurance companies, their previous minimum capital requirement was 40 million, which has been revised to 125 million Ghana cedis.
And we'll be here with the business and more. I am Israel, and Joy News Prime comes to you live from the Joy News studio at Kokomilimili here in Accra with digital address GA09925339. Stay tuned in. Now, first story, the Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association is giving government a 2-week ultimatum to clamp down on foreigners engaged in retail business in the country or face their wrath. The ultimatum comes on the back of current agitations by traders at the Swami Magazine Spare Parts Hub for their Nigerian counterparts to be evicted from the market. Public Relations Officer of the group, Francis Anum, has been outlining some of the issues at a news conference Thursday. Efwa Evans Chinwe reports.
A group of young men believed to be members of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, clad in red bands, attacked a shop belonging to a Nigerian trader Wednesday, destroying items in the shop and burning car tires. The Ghanaian traders argue that they are only enforcing the laws of Ghana which bar foreigners from engaging in the retail subsector, a preserve of Ghanaians. Speaking at a press conference in support of the action taken by the Swami traders, Francis Enum called on government to enforce the country's laws, which prohibits foreigners from engaging in retail trade.
We, the Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association, we want to, 1, affirm our support to our brothers and sisters in Kumasi who have taken it upon themselves to defend the cause of freedom and enforce the right in their business. We want also to register our displeasure towards that shameful speech by the so-called Nigerian professor, which has gone viral on social media. We also want to register our displeasure to the Nigerian High Commissioner for attacking our media for doing their rightful job. Inform government to act within a matter of 2 weeks, or the Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association will take a destiny into our own hands to register our dispersal with the dormant approach taken by government toward this canker in our society.
Vice Chairperson of the Ladies Association at Abosokai, Gifty Fianu, said their businesses are not thriving because of the foreigners.
Our concern is that not only the Nigerians, the Chinese too are here, and other nationals, the foreigners. What they do is, their own is to come and retail. Their own is to retail, to supply to us and take their money and go. But now they are having shops, they are having tables, and they sell it at a low cost. Because when they are bringing it in, they don't pay duty. They use it to they pass back door. So you go there, you buy 2 cedis. You come and sell it 4 cedis. They can sell it 2 cedis. They can sell it 2 cedis because they are not paying any duty. They pass somewhere and bring the thing. And their people are there. They send them the thing through other means. So they sell it anyhow. And it's not right. Our own is, we are saying that the government should be up and doing now, because it's been a long time. We've been complaining about this, we've been talking about this. Then nobody wants to do anything. It looks like it's politics or something, I don't know.
Well, government says it has held a meeting with the Nigerian High Commission in Ghana, assuring its officials, law enforcement agencies will protect all persons living in the country from lawless individuals. This comes in the wake of a series of attacks on retail shop owners shops owned by some Nigerians. The police in the Ashanti region are currently on a manhunt for 2 persons believed to be masterminds of the attack. Information Minister Kojo Ponkrumah says government is unhappy about the situation.
I think one of the first things we have to do is to avoid any form of stereotype and xenophobia, whether in our reportage or in our public conversations about some of these matters, and to treat them on a specific basis. If you are finding any person, be that person Ghanaian or otherwise, who is engaged in any activity that is not in consonance with our laws, whether it's a Ghanaian operating a shop where that shop ought not to be operated, or operating without a necessary fire license or FDA approvals, whatever, if it's an American, if it's a Nigerian, if it's a Chinese, what we have to encourage people to do is to make a report on those specifics to the appropriate authorities so that they deal with it.
The last time you spoke about the Canadian girls who were kidnapped, you did assure the international community that Ghana was safe. I mean, since then, the Nigerians have come under attack. The High Commission has also issued a statement. The government must obviously be worried about the relationship between Ghana and Nigeria and what this could actually mean for Ghanaians who live in Nigeria.
Yesterday, we had the opportunity to meet with the Nigerian High Commissioner and then subsequently members of his team. And they are also helping Ghana's authorities to ensure that if there are any specific persons who are involved in untoward conduct, they will be supportive in our exercise to let such persons face the law. Apart from that, the important thing is to ensure that we don't stereotype any particular group of people, and that the general protections that the state must ensure are available within our jurisdiction for citizens and non-citizens are upheld.
Yeah, but at the heart of this, in terms of the trade disagreement, the question, the point the Ghanaians keep making is that government is simply not enforcing the law that it ought to enforce.
The leadership of these groups continues to engage with government, and we make the point to them that within the framework of the laws and the protocols that we have signed up to, that which ought to be done is being done, and if there are any further specifics, they need to draw the attention of their leadership, who will bring it to our attention, and then we act in those specific areas.
Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Osechi Mensah-Bonsu, is calling for an emergency meeting of ECOWAS heads of state over the current standoff in his constituency between Ghanaian traders and their Nigerian counterparts. Whilst traders at the Swami Magazine Spare Parts Hub are demanding enforcement of the law barring foreigners from engaging in retailing, the foreign traders operating in the market believe they're entitled to do so by the ECOWAS Protocol on Free Movement of Goods and Persons. The Swami MP, however, believes unless all member states respect all the ECOWAS protocols, Ghana should not be compelled to implement a protocol which is at variance with the country's laws.
The authority of heads of state need to have a meeting on this. It is either we drink deep or taste not. If we want to go the way of the protocols, we should apply ourselves to all of them. We cannot pick and choose. That I will not allow the introduction of the ECO, but I want my citizens to move freely out and settle anywhere that they deem fit. That will be a challenge. So I believe this can occasion a meeting, an emergency meeting of the ECOWAS. Let's think through, where do we want to go, right? Where do we want to go? Because we do know that trade among ourselves is really going to enhance the economies of the countries in the sub-region. But if you erect barriers that here I will not allow you, but you allow me, access in this direction, it's going to be difficult. We can't pick and choose. We should allow due process to assume center stage. Nobody should take the law into his own hands or her own hands and do what he thinks or deems appropriate.
Moving on, the minority in Parliament has served notice it will resist any attempt by the PRC to increase electricity tariffs. The PRC says new tariffs will come into effect on July 1 following several months of consultations. Addressing a media briefing, Minority Member of Parliament on the Energy Committee, John Jinapo, said government is to blame for the rising cost of electricity production and the public should not be made to bear the consequence. He was addressing a media briefing in Parliament House.
The second one is the attempt to increase tariffs. Let me also serve notice that we shall resist any attempt to increase tariffs because the facts on the ground does not justify an increment in tariff. If you read the 2019 budget, the Minister of Finance came for approval that the gas that will be sold amounting to $181 million should not be paid for. And gas constitutes a major component. In fact, if you take the recurrent expenditure of the utilities, fuel constitutes more than 70% of the recurrent expenditure. So if you are taking that off and asking the utilities not to pay for the gas, what will be the justification for an increment in tariff? We are therefore serving notice that we shall resist vehemently any attempt by this government to increase tariffs. We would serve notice and would ensure that that is resisted.
The minority is also accusing President Akufo-Addo of peddling falsehood on the debt in the energy sector when he spoke in Canada. Minority spokesperson on energy, Mutawa Kilu, says the debt the NDC left behind is 2.2 billion Ghana cedis and not 5.4 billion cedis.
The president has often made inaccurate claims about the debt in the energy sector in a bid to conceal the true state of affairs. One of these inaccurate claims was his recent visit to Toronto, where he said that his government inherited $5.2 billion debt in Ghana's energy sector from the previous Mahama-led National Democratic Congress administration. The minority does not only find this statement as inaccurate, but also as an attempt by the president to shake responsibilities from the incompetent he has displayed in the management of the country's energy sector, which remains a backbone to the Ghanaian economy. We want to come up with the facts and records. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, enough record exists to show that the president peddled falsehood with respect to what has come to be called legacy debt.
Minority spokesperson on finance, Ato Forsing, served notice a future NDC government will prosecute MPP officials for misusing money accruing from the Energy Sector Levy Act. He says the move is causing debt buildup in the sector that could collapse the sector.
Oh, that last year when we were debating the Energy Sector Levies Act, it came out that the government of Ghana, for that matter, Ministry of Finance, they've used approximately 300 million Ghana cedis of energy sector levies money for the purposes of financing the budget. The money was supposed to be used for the purposes of price stabilization levy, and they decided to apply it to take care of budgetary expenditure. That is misapplication. It's against our law. In fact, it is an offense that should be prosecuted. Unfortunately, you asked a question as to whether we should wait for President Mahama to come to office. Do you expect President Akufo-Addo to prosecute his cousin? Do you expect President Akufo-Addo to prosecute one of his own? Obviously, he's turned the Flagstaff House as a clearinghouse. So he's clearing his ministers. He doesn't want to prosecute them. But we want to send signal to them that this is an act of corruption. And as for crime, it has a long memory, and we'll revisit it when we come to office.
A Medina District Court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of 2 women captured in a viral video disposing of waste during a recent downpour. The video received widespread condemnation amidst calls for law enforcement agencies to arrest them. They have still not been apprehended, but their landlady has been handed a 2,400 cedi fine after she pleaded guilty to the charge of causing public nuisance. Joy News' Henry Kwesi Badu sat through court proceedings and filed this report. Right to you.
The 2 women are captured in a viral video indiscriminately disposing of waste packed in sacks in running water during a downpour on June 3, 2019. Social media users and some civil society organizations called for the arrest of these women who lived at Medina. The women, who are yet to be identified, have since been on the run. 62-year-old landlady of these women, Hawa Mohammed, was dragged to the Medina District Court on Thursday and slapped with 2 counts of causing public nuisance. Prosecutors of the case also found out that the landlady and her occupants had not registered for solid waste collection. She pleaded guilty before the court presided over by Richard Delali Anko. She claimed the incident happened in her absence, adding she had been admitted at the hospital. The judge ruled that she is to pay a fine of 2,400 cedis or, in default, serve a 1-year jail term. The court also issued a bench warrant for the arrest of the 2 women who are still at large. Prosecutor of the case, Lambert Kwara, is satisfied with the court's decision.
The ruling isn't bad. Yes, it's a good ruling because every law has its sanctions. The penalty units within that context is between 150 to 250. So if the magistrate had given 200, I think it's not bad. At least he considered the lady's age. It should serve as a deterrent to people. 2,400 Ghana cedis is not easy to come by, and therefore I think it's not bad. It will definitely serve as a deterrent. Already the assembly is collaborating with the police. That's why the police has issued an alert for the arrest. They are at large. So anytime we get them, definitely we'll let the law take its course.
Now, before we bring you the rest of our stories, the Opposition National Democratic Congress is addressing a news conference on the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. The news conference is being addressed by the NDC's Director of Elections, Elvis Friankra. Let's listen in.
Copious examples in every region, and in the coming days, the General Secretary will do a press conference and give you specific details with facts and figures for you to know what we are talking about. Meanwhile, because the EC had no faith in the offline registration, for whatever reasons, they failed to maintain and service the BVR machines properly, and so their use has also experienced numerous challenges. Malfunctions, printers not working, batteries not charging properly, breakdown, etc. From our monitoring and observation, let me jump that. In addition to the frequent malfunction and breakdown of printers, with some not working at all, the incidence of registration machines printing out different dates of registration is rife in almost all centers. The resultant effect of these basic and avoidable technical challenges is that despite the huge numbers of prospective applicants thronging the registration centers, the actual number of people who actually get registered has been very low, if not insignificant. Again, as a result of the reduction in the number of registration centers from 6,500, that from 6,500 to 250, about, until we asked for more, and they added a few more, coupled with the terribly slow nature of the registration, many people who have traveled long distances to register have had to spend several hours at the registration centers only to return to their homes without being registered. The frustrations and disappointments that prospective applicants have been subjected to in an attempt to exercise an inalienable right is unimaginable. The cumulative effect of all these challenges is that many people may end up being disenfranchised ahead of the December 2019 District Assembly elections and referendum. You will all bear witness that on several occasions and before the start of the registration exercise, we advised the Electoral Commission, raised legitimate concerns, and predicted that the registration exercise was likely to suffer some of these avoidable challenges. We hate to point it out in this manner, but the NDC now stands vindicated. There is no denying the fact that there are deep-seated suspicions and heightened tensions across the country as a result of the haphazard manner in which the limited voters registration exercise is being conducted. The Electoral Commission needs to sit up and demonstrate some level of competence and hands-on approach relative to this registration exercise. Thank you very much.
That was the NDC's Director of Elections Service, Free Accra, addressing a news conference on the ongoing limited voter registration exercise by the Electoral Commission. Moving on to other stories now. The police are investigating circumstances surrounding the death of a 7-year-old boy at Katamanso Promised Land in the Greater Accra region. Commander of the Zenu Atadeka District Police, DSP Abdullahi Mumuni, told Joy News, though they suspect Sadiq Amadou might have drowned, they find it strange that no water could be expelled from his belly after he was retrieved from the drain. He urged residents to remain calm as investigations continue. MFA Atiamwa Eli has more.
Me banana ya mi bibia me banana ya mi kunu ya mi nua mi ni mami onu anesa ya mi mami ya mi bibia o madam fu mi bibia.
Atmosphere at the home of little Sadiq Amadou was full of grief. His mother, visibly heartbroken and sorrowful, struggled to control herself to narrate her last encounter with her son.
The last time I saw my son was on Sunday at about 3:30 p.m. when I asked him to go to the barbering shop. I followed up to the barbering shop after 30 minutes and I was told he had not been there. I went out looking for him, but I didn't get any information. I even asked a few of his friends he plays with, but they all said they had not seen my son.
Minutes and he now did it here. Well, 30 minutes in po, and yet 30 minutes, and yet 30 minutes, oh, and yet. Tomu na kola na ya white no mweje no mweje no mweje na efia kola no anu mwebu mi ba no ko.
Sadiq left home for the barber shop Sunday, June 9 at about 4 p.m. According to his mother, she followed up a few minutes later, but never found her 7-year-old son. Information went around the neighborhood with many joining in search of Sadiq till about 2 a.m. Monday, but he was nowhere to be found. It was not until Monday morning when his body was seen in a nearby drain under construction. Neighbors continued to gather in the home of the deceased family to console them on their loss. Some of them recounted what they saw Monday morning, June 10. Here is Victoria, a neighbor, and Joseph Nanapo, the barber to whom Sadiq was headed.
I was
home when I heard Sadiq was lying in a pool of water. I rushed there and it was true. He was lying face down. It seemed strange to me though that the boy could die at the point he was found.
Sunday, we were around 4. That one, my share time.
Around 4 p.m., his mother came to tell me she could not find him. She left and returned around 6 p.m. with the same complaint. That was when we all started searching for the boy. I went to bed around 3 a.m. Monday.
That night, that Sunday night,
The Zenu Atadeka District Police is investigating the case. Commander in charge, DSP Abdullahi Mumuni, told Joy News, initial investigations show the boy might have gone swimming and drowned. They are, however, suspicious about other findings made so far.
What we observe strange, perhaps, is the fact that we thought somebody who had been drowned might have, drank a lot of water, so the stomach might have been bloated, but we pressed the stomach, but no water was coming out. But that is the only thing we observe strange. Aside that, we had no cause to believe that he was killed elsewhere and brought to the police, because we gathered also that the children, swim in that river. And it was not just a surprise to us that some of these things can happen. But then we took the body to the Nigerian hospital and deposited it at the morgue. Today, as I speak to you, the investigator is at the morgue to see how post-mortem can be performed on the body for us to establish the cause of the death.
Sadiq's death has left many talking and feeling insecure in the neighborhood. The mothers especially are demanding justice while urging the police to up their game in the community.
The police should hurry up. The investigation is too slow.
Amafa Ewenam Atiamwa Eli, reporting for Joy News, Katamanso.
Farmers in the Mansia South district of the Shanti region will soon have over 15,000 hectares of land from Galamsey degraded fields for cultivation. The district agricultural directorate is spearheading a reclamation effort to restore livelihoods lost as a result of years of distraction by illegal miners. Ohime Teria has more in the following report.
Amansia South is one of the areas of wide and pronounced devastation by illegal mining. Under a reclamation project being financed by the district assembly, nitrogen-fixing plants have been introduced to enrich reclaimed land. Vast areas of land have already been put under plantain and yam cultivation with signs of high yield. Authorities want more farmers, especially the youth, to take advantage of the initiative to restore Amansia South as major food basket in the country. John Swansea is the district director of agriculture.
Show it to the South Belt or the farmers that a degraded land is not spoiled. You can still regain it. That is why we are putting the plantain. And it's not only the plantain that we are going to put in cocoyam, cassava, and most of the crops. So this place will also serve as a learning center for farmers. We bring farmers here to come and learn. Farmers in Amansia South should contact the assembly and the agri department so that those lands that have been destroyed can be reclaimed and put back into agricultural use.
Meanwhile, the assembly is making available 13,000 oil palm seedlings and other farming equipment to farmers, especially the youth, under the Planting for Food and Export program. William Asante-Bediakon is chief executive.
And these are places where Galamsey had been done, and people thought that the land were totally out of use. But I can assure people that when they decide to put the soil back, very soon the soil will revegetate itself, and we can actually use the soil for any, agricultural purposes that we want.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohime Teria reporting.
A syndicate involved in cattle theft within the Kintampo municipality of the Muru East region has been apprehended by the Kintampo police. According to the police, the arrest was made at various locations around Winchi and Techiman. Kintampo Divisional Police Commander ACP Joseph Entry Joe, at a media briefing, accused a professional graduate teacher as a member of the syndicate. Correspondent Nestor Kafua-Joma's report read to you.
On April 29, 2019, Kintampo Divisional Police Command received a tip-off that a group of herdsmen were spotted loading a Kia truck with stolen cattle. The cattle belonged to one Yusuf Saidu of Atakrasi near Kintampo. A military and police patrol team was dispatched to Bupe Kintampo Highway, where the driver of the Kia truck, Aremeya Yusuf and Majid Ibrahim, the driver's mate, were apprehended. Kintampo Divisional Police Commander ACP Joseph Entijau explains how and where the other members of the cattle theft syndicate were arrested.
On the 16th of June, due to the strictness of the police, 3 accomplices, namely Sigia Sumani, 41, Ahmed Mohammed, 35, and Amadou Abdullah, 24, were also arrested from their hideout at Techiman. In another development, on the 16th of June 2019, Kintampo Police Command also had another tip of that. The Kia truck, the registration number General 4190, has also loaded 9 cattle from Dawa Dawa, belonging to one Alhaji Osman Abudu, alias Dia, from Kintampo. The police were discharged, and the patrol team went to Babato, Tobu, where the thieves, on seeing the police vehicle, jumped into the bush, leaving the driver and the vehicle.
Kintampo Divisional Crime Officer, DSP Prosper Komlak Babu, said the arrest is part of several ways the command intends to ward off potential criminals in the Kintampo municipal area.
Most of them are before court, and some are yet to be put before court. We are on the heels of some, and very soon we'll get them. And we want to sound caution to those criminals out there that police will do everything to get them arrested. And our place is not a safe haven for them again. They shouldn't venture to come because we'll meet them square.
Public Relations Officer for Kintampo Fulani Herdsmen Association, Musa Ali, was pleased with the arrest of the syndicate. According to him, they have stolen close to 200 cattle in the area this year. Nesta Kafis Ajoma's report for Joy News.
Outsourced workers of troubled Ghana Bauxite Company, suspected to be behind the destruction of properties, have denied participating in the violent protest. Protesters allegedly burned 3 cars and also set the residence of the human resource manager of the company on fire. Latif Idris visited the company and reports the damage, which extended to the main computer server of the company, has the potential of delaying the payment of the June salaries of workers.
Workers of the mines went on rampage while negotiating for an increase in their salaries. They are paid 350 Ghana cedis every month. The angry workers allegedly chased the HR manager out of his office and touched it.
I can find a microwave, so this should be the kitchen, a microwave and a trunk. But I wouldn't want to touch these items so that I do not compromise with forensics, which we understand has kick-started by investigators who are on the ground. So let's get into the master bedroom to find out if some items were salvaged during the arson attack. And again, all I can find in here is the ceramic roofing that has caved in, and I can find a spring within the mattress. It's now lying under the rubble, and I can find remnants of the mattress. And here, the camera will just capture this. You find remnants of the mattress that got burnt.
Their action is criminal. Yeah. So we want to make appeal to the government. These criminals should be brought to justice as soon as possible. Even the situation has cooled down, but we still feel unsafe to resume operation.
Addressing journalists, Lands and Natural Resources Minister Kweku Asomachreme says the law will catch up with those who committed the crime.
Of course, we all know that demonstration is a particular position that our 1992 Republican Constitution guarantees. So it is their right which is enshrined in the national law. But one cannot easily explore that without going through the process laid down. We deem the demonstration to be illegal.
The act of vandalism has the potential of scaring away investors who are planning to bring their businesses in Ghana.
That is why we are here. We have assured them that the government is a government that believes in this kind of investment. We are always preaching outside Ghana, within Ghana, that we need more investors to come and invest.
Meanwhile, The aggrieved workers are distancing themselves from the vandalism. Speaking to Joy News in the company of his colleagues in the main Awaso Township, chairman of the Outsourced Workers Association, Emmanuel Sena here says his attempt to douse the fire after the suspected arson attack almost got him killed by his own colleagues.
This is not a time for me to reject them, because if I had been able to sail through to bring them victory, I would be receiving most of the glory. So now that, based on the delayance and then the tossings, and they've gone extreme, I cannot say I'm no more following them.
The police is saying they are going to arrest and prosecute the perpetrators. Are you ready to cooperate with them, and are you ready to identify those who took part in the vandalism?
Actually, as I'm speaking to you now, because of them wanting to lynch me, when I got myself freed from there, I isolated myself from there, and then based on what has happened now, if I can tell you I saw A or B, I can tell you.
You can't make anybody out.
Yes, please.
The workers say they look forward to resuming work in the coming days.
The John Evans Atta Mills Presidential Library in Cape Coast, a memorial and research facility which was opened about 3 years ago, is decaying from neglect. This is because the project contractor has resolved not to hand over the facility unless he's paid for work done. But residents of Cape Coast say this is an insult to the memory and legacy of the late president and want those tasked to put up the facility to break their silence. Richard Kodrianko has more.
On July 24, 2016, former President John Dramani Mahama inaugurated the Atta Mills Presidential Library, which coincided with the 4th anniversary of the death of President Mills. On that day, he said the library should be the presidential library befitting the life of Professor Mills as a renowned academic, sportsman, politician, president, and peace-loving Ghanaian.
A peace-loving man, he prioritized peace above all else, because as Prof always rightly stated, without peace, there can be no progress.
The facility has a 100-capacity auditorium, a 45-seater multimedia center, seminar rooms, and a museum that holds historical materials that reflect the life and works of the late president. The edifice also has a virtual sound room that echoes the voice of Professor Mills in his memorable speeches and images that bring to life his surgeon. So this is the John Evans Atta Mills Presidential Library. It was commissioned about 3 years ago, but sadly, after its commissioning, nothing has taken place here. The facility has not been used. So as a result of the proximity of this multi-million-dollar facility to the sea, many of the parts are peeling off. Others are falling off, and rusting and corrosion has become the order. The place is virtually on its knees because it's been locked up for the past 3 years. Let's take a look at what is happening here. The entrance to the facility has been tightly locked. It's been tightly locked by the contractor to prevent anybody from entering this facility. It's become a source of worry to many of the residents here. The Cape Coast Youth Development Association is extremely worried. They feel it is an insult to the memory and the legacy of the late president.
They did this job for him to appreciate what he has done for Ghana, but the thing is destroying. Since the time they opened this library, it is artificial, handing over to Cape Coast UCC. We are angry about the planning committee. If Professor Mills has served Ghana and all these planning committee members profit on his administration, and if Professor Atta Mills is no more, and see what they have done to him, that's why Cape Coast Youth Development Association, we are worried, because the sea basin is destroying this presidential library, and it's disgrace to we Cape Coast.
So the question many are asking is that, what is the committee that was put in place to put up this facility doing? What are they saying? What answers are they going to give to the general public about the reason why this facility is still not functioning or has been closed down? Now, what we have stumbled upon is a letter with the University of Cape Coast that the former Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, wrote to the University of Cape Coast. They say that the responsibility of the university to run this facility, the title deeds are supposed to be worked on by the AESL and to be handed over to the University of Cape Coast, and then the contractor is expected to hand over the keys, but the contractor has issues with the certificate. He's not been paid the full amount, and so he's decided to pocket the keys. This woman, Adra Donko, bumped into us at the entrance of the Presidential Library. Her message is simple. The Omahin of Ugwa traditional area and President Akufo-Addo should stand up to be counted. She is of the belief that if for nothing at all, the late Prof. Samuel served the entire country and the legacy should be protected. From Cape Coast.
Now, GSEs has progressed to the knockout stages of the ongoing National Science and Maths quiz after a convincing win Thursday evening. The 2012 champions were expected to shrug off their two challengers, Zion College and Edumang SHS, and they wasted no time in exerting their weight on the contest. At the end of the 5-round contest, GSEs boasted 54 points. Nancy Emefa-Jadozi has been interacting with them.
That is how it all ends here at the new end block at the University of Ghana. Ghana Senior Technical School won by a margin of 54 points, and there you hear them. They're singing and they're chanting. Let us listen to them. So there you had some, students from the Ghana Senior Technical School. Let me see, are you a trainer? Are you an old student? You are an old student. Okay, I'll speak to the trainer shortly, but let me speak to you first. I see that you're excited. How are you feeling at the moment?
I don't even know what to say, but then that's the start of something new. We are back again. GSTS, we are here to, in fact, do what we've not done in a lot of years. So yeah, this year we are here to win the trophy, and there's no two ways about that.
You're impressed with your performance?
Yes, I'm very impressed, but then we have a lot to do. So you have to come next time during the 1E.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. The trainer, you must be a very proud trainer today.
Yes, I am.
How, per the performances you've seen today, are you proud? Do you think that they have done up to expectations, or expected them to do more?
Yes, we are expecting that at least the marks will be a bit higher than what we have seen today. But all the same, the boys have put in their best, and I'm proud of them.
But I would want to take a few words from them. They are still on the stage as usual. When they win, there's a lot of spotlight on them. So I would just basically want to walk out to them and to find out how the feeling was like, because they won with clear margin of about 30, and that is actually huge for a school as GSTS. And so I'll basically just want to walk with them and find out how the feeling is at the moment. Hello, gentlemen. Can you come close to me a little bit? Congratulations to the two of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
What's your name?
Me, Adiko.
I saw that you were very serious, like working the maths and answering the questions. When you were up here, I know the feeling will be different from those sitting there. How is the feeling like seated on the hot seat?
Like at first we panicked, but as it progressed, we maintain up.
What do you think did the trick for you? You won like with a huge margin of about 30 points. What is the trick for you?
Actually, the trick is we know that this will be the result because of the training that we've been going over the period. We knew that at the end we will be the victors. So this isn't a surprise to us at all.
That's it for the bulletin. I'm Israel Laya. You have a good night.